In this GYDA Initiative Talks, Robert interviews the awesome Tom Peters. Tom is one of the world's most respected management gurus. He is an author, business expert, thought leader, and speaker. Tom is co-author of In Search of Excellence, the book that changed the way the world does business and often tagged as the best business book ever. 17 books and 35 years later, Tom is still at the forefront of the management guru industry that he single-handedly invented.
So can we just go back to what you were saying before about I guess it's about personal leadership. Where do people learn about leadership? Does leadership come from how you're brought up? Or, I mean, it's all very well saying you need to be a good leader, you need to create a good culture, there needs to be followership as much as being a follower, but where do people, how do we find out about how do we become a good leader? Where does that come from, Tom?
Well, now is my opportunity to really, really be helpful to everybody who's watching us. My answer to that question, and you hinted at it, is choose your parents. Great pick. It's obviously the right answer. A huge amount of it does have to do with upbringing. And one of the topics I want to talk to you about, and you want to talk to me about undoubtedly, and I think even though we have a broad-based international audience, at some level, everybody knows what EQ is, emotional quotient, as opposed to IQ. Regardless of how technical your business is, and most of the people who are paying attention to us have a technical business, hire nice people. There is a guy, my wife and I spend a couple of months normally in New Zealand in the North American winter. And there's a friend of a friend who is the big special effects guy for Peter Jackson. And I was talking to my friend about some of this, and he said, George has a rule. And I said, what's that? No assholes. And, it's a not trivial point. There's, again, thinking of our technical audience, and I used this in my last book. There's a guy by the name of Peter Miller, and he is the founder and CEO of a mid-sized biotech company. And, with all due respect to our digital marketing friends, to be in the intellectual game at a biotech company requires degrees that I can't even pronounce. And he said, we only hire nice people. He said, name the most obscure degree in the world, some organic chemistry, He said, there are actually a lot of nice people who have that degree. And he has a rule, and he calls it running the gauntlet. And I talk to you, and you have this incredibly sexy biotech degree, and I'm Peter Miller, I'm the owner, and I am bowled over by your brilliance and just can't wait to offer you a job. But when you finish the interview with me, you've got to run the gauntlet, which means you have 15 10-minute interviews with the receptionist, with the guy who cleans the office, with the finance person, with the HR department person, and all 15 of those people have blackball power. If any one of them says, I can't imagine having to work within 20 feet of these guys. And so nice can work in a tech place. And the other thing, and I'm so pissed off because it came out after my last book, Google did a study of its best employees and its best and its most innovative teams. The 7 top characteristics of the best employees were all soft skills: listening, being respectful, cooperating, taking other people's, and number 8 on the list of the 8 top was STEM. The tech stuff made it, but it was 8 out of 8. And then they did the same thing with teams. And Google is one of those dumb ass, sickening, nauseating places where people are designated as A players and B players. That is absolutely the most incredible, quick, demotivating tool known to humankind. But anyway, they have A teams and B teams. And the B player teams totally outperformed the A player teams. Same damn thing. All the traits were soft skills. And, you know, nobody who's watching us would possibly understand what I'm about to say. But on the A teams that weren't worth a shit, one of the principal reasons they had problems is they said bullying, intellectual bullying. It's one. Listen, I have 2 Stanford degrees, so I can say any damn thing I want to about Stanford. It is a 24-year-old kid who graduated with an incredible coding degree from Stanford and is making $200,000 freaking dollars a year at the age of 24, and he knows he is descended directly from God. And you know, that's not the guy you want in either the virtual room or the real room. Incidentally, I think we're probably going to do a lot better in this work from home WFH thing, because if you know your literature, which I do, open offices are a disaster. You know, whoever invented open offices, they're going to be a special place in hell for them.